One of the hardest challenges for a course creator is to get all of the skills and the knowledge that they have in their head and then to be able to put that into a format that is not only easy to apply, but also has actionable steps that really changes the lives or changes behaviors or teaches their students what they are wanting to learn. So in essence, that is what a perfect course is. So a course is you as the course creator putting down into an easy to follow format all of your skills and knowledge into a course that users can not only access, but they can also understand, and even further than that, they can apply it to their lives. But unfortunately, many course creators fall into the trap where they feel like they have to be the smartest person in the room. So what you always need to remember is that when you are creating a course, the focus is not to prove how smart you are and wow people with all of the knowledge that you have. The goal is to teach people how to complete a task in easy to follow, actionable steps. So to help you with that challenge, what I'm going to do in this video right now is I'm going to share with you the 3 key elements that need to be included when you are creating your courses. But just in case we haven't met yet, my name is Aaron Young. I'm from 7-Figure Coaching, and what I'm going to be teaching you today are the exact principles that I put in place when I created my first 7-figure course, which was only 2 years ago. And what I want to do now is I want to take a step further and help you even more, because what I want to do is I want to share with you my course creation checklist. And this is a checklist which takes you through all of the individual actions that you need to complete as you're writing your course. And inside of that checklist, it also includes my website planner questionnaire, which also takes you through a series of questions so that you can create the best website to sell your courses. And above all of that, you can also access a free 30-day trial to use the platform which I use and recommend, which is Kajabi. And you can get all those free tools right now just by following the link in the description below. And what I also want to let you know is that that checklist and that website planner, which is the exact tools that I've used that have helped me sell over 3,000 courses in the last 2 years. So with all of that said, let's get straight into today's teaching. Now, where I want to start, and this will give you some really good context, and I want to share with you the catalyst which really propelled me to make that decision to start creating online courses. And my background is Google Ads, and since 2010, I've managed literally thousands of different profitable Google Ads campaigns. So I had a friend of mine who was wanting to get involved in digital marketing and Google Ads, and they bought a course which was worth $3,000 by a so-called top level provider. And while they got 90% on the course, so they passed the course with a 90% pass mark, what happened is that they had no ability to actually do what the course said that it was training them to do, in that they couldn't put together a marketing plan and then implement a simple Google Ads campaign. And a core catchline of what they said is that the course taught me how to talk the talk. I just didn't know how to action anything and actually walk the walk. In that case, there was only 2 potential problem areas. Firstly, my friend. Did they just not understand it? And that is not true. And the reason for why I know that is because they finished the top of their school, they went to university and finished a degree. So they were an incredibly smart person. And the problem was actually the course. And the reason for why I also know this is because, as I mentioned to you before, I'd been doing Google Ads since 2010. And part of that role, I was consulting to a number of different marketing agencies as their head of digital. And what I found as a common problem is that people that would come into the industry who had finished these courses, these $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 courses, had no practical skills, and I was seeing it time and time again. That was the real decision maker for me to want to create a course about Google Ads. Now, the reason why I share that background, because it leads us in perfectly to the first core element that you need to get right when you are creating a course. And that is that your course needs to focus on practical knowledge, not head knowledge and certificates. What I mean by that is that the core goal of your course should be to lay out the practical, easy to follow steps of how someone completes what you're teaching. It should be able to take them from point A all the way through to point Z. A simple process of how they complete each task. The focus should not be about what certificates they can gain or by how many words that they can describe the definitions of. And that's where a lot of courses fall down, is that they really focus on getting the users to pass an exam as opposed to actually teaching them how to do things. The way that I like to think about a course when I'm creating a course is to what I call the Google Maps analogy. Now, I'm sure majority of you here would have used Google Maps before. And if you're going to a destination that you've never been to before, I know for me, we've just come back from holiday in Italy and we were going from Florence to a winery out in Tuscany. I'd never been in Italy before, so I had no idea where we were going, but Google Maps got us there. And the reason being is because it was a constant guide. It was telling us, turn left here, then keep on this road for 5 kilometers. And it wasn't focused on any unnecessary information. It wasn't telling us about the populations of the towns we were driving through. It was purely focused on allowing us to achieve the task, and that is to arrive at the winery that we were going to for lunch. That's what your course needs to do. It's not about teaching information which is not relevant. It's all about laying out a simple step-by-step guide of how they complete the tasks that you're teaching. The second core important element that you need to include when you're writing a course is that you need to think about the challenges that you faced when you were learning your skill set. And your course should be the course that you wish existed when you were starting to learn whatever you're teaching. Say for example, if you are releasing a video editing course for mobile phones, how you can produce a promotional video off your mobile phone, what you should be doing is you should be thinking going, I wish that this was the course that I could buy and learn from when I was first learning how to create videos off my mobile phone. So whenever I'm writing a course, what I always think back to is that when I'm planning the course, I want this to be a course that me from 5 years ago or me from 10 years ago when I was first learning this skill would have loved to have available on the market. So always keep that in mind. You want your course to be the course that you wish existed when you were first learning how to master your current skill set or task. And then the third and final important element for planning and creating your courses is that your courses need to answer the questions that you had when you first started. And a little side note to that is that these need to be the answers to the mistakes that you initially made. Because I know that for all of us, when we're learning a new skill, there's often a lot of mistakes that we make that cause us money and or time. Your course needs to provide teaching that stops people from making some of those same mistakes. And for me, when I create my courses, there's two core things that I'm looking at. I try to once again think back to what were the questions or what were the problems that I had to work out for myself, and how can I include that in my course? And then secondly, especially if you're creating a course after you've coached people or after you have been involved in training at your workplace or training around the hobby that you're trying to teach people, is that I always reference back to the questions that have always been asked to me when I've tried to help people out or teach them how to do things in the past. And they are two excellent sources of knowing what to include in your course and the type of answers that you need to provide in your course, because great courses answer the questions before the user even asks them. So thank you for joining me, and remember, when you start writing your next course, make sure you include those core 3 elements in your course planning. And remember, if you want that extra support, all you need to do, follow that link in the description so you can get access to my free course creation checklist and all of those other things that I've thrown in for you to help you on your journey. Now, once you've got your course created, you obviously need an audience to sell that course. And don't for one second feel that you need a large audience. And in fact, you can create a very successful business off a very, very small audience. And I explain this in more detail in this video right here, where I talk about mini channel millionaires. So once again, thank you for joining me. My name's Aaron Young. I look forward to seeing you in this video real soon. See you later.